You're tuned in to the Rewind Guys podcast, the show where we watch, discuss, and rate old movies, new movies, movies that defined our childhood, and others we've never seen or even heard of before. This week, despite the fact we're down one person and one broken camera, this episode spares no expense because we're talking about Jurassic Park. So load your shotguns, watch out for the velociraptors, and don't forget to boot up the door locks, because the show is about to begin.
You're about to engage in a conversation you know or care nothing about.
I got my facts here. All right.
You faxed that to yourself? Got my facts here.
Yes. All right. All right, here we go. Welcome back to the Rewind Guys podcast. I'm your host, Patrick Andrews, joined by Mike Andrus.
What's up?
And Russell Andrews. This week, we're rewinding the film Jurassic Park. This is a sci-fi action-adventure filmed in Hawaii. This movie is rated PG-13, released June 11th, 1993. Has a runtime of 2 hours and 6 minutes and had a budget of $63 million. Shut up. Did I say something wrong?
Is it 63? What? Is that right?
Yes.
This
Hi.
guy? What'd you say about before? That you thought it was. Let's get that out.
I don't know why, but for some reason, I thought this movie had a budget of $10 million because I was blown away by that.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure you got the right one this time because I couldn't remember which was right, which was wrong.
The right one is $63 million. Okay. Did anybody check any facts on this? Anybody?
No useful ones.
Okay. Because okay, you guys want to know what the box office is on this film?
It's got to be huge.
All right, let's do some guesses.
They made $200 million.
Mike, what's your guess?
I got to one up them. They made $300 million.
All right. Well, Mike is the closest without going
Yes.
over. But check this out. According to what I had to look multiple sources, this movie made just over $1 billion.
Whoa.
Yes, it's like 1.033 billion.
Has it ever stopped making money?
I have no idea. This movie is insane, and it's crazy because obviously when you watch the whole movie, it is all this huge marketing tactic. The whole thing is. Okay, but I have to say, man, they are lucky because you know what came out alongside this movie?
The theme park, I'm assuming.
No, not the theme park.
Well,
No, I'm talking
dinosaurs.
about. I'm
yes, dinosaurs.
No, I'm talking about competing movies that came out the same time, like that could have taken its audience.
I was 3.
I was maybe 6 months or something.
Life with Mikey.
Oh, I love that. Wait, what does that have to do with anything?
Because this could have taken its audience. I'm just kidding.
What is the connection here?
The connection.
It's
Okay.
like, whoosh.
The connection is Jurassic Park came out alongside of Life with Mikey at the same time.
And it rained that day.
I'm saying it's surprising that not more people went and seen Life with Mikey.
You know what? There was a fly in the theater, and it just annoyed the people, so they went to see Jurassic Park instead.
You know, this was really a joke. I honestly thought you would appreciate. And apparently it's just a huge flop. I knew you liked the movie. It came out the same time. I'm like, oh my God, I'll just make fun of how this didn't take all its earnings. Shut up, man.
Okay, so what did that one make?
I have no idea.
Come on, you're coming in here, you're saying that it would have taken all its earnings, but we don't even know what it made.
A lot of people's girlfriends are in there, okay? Let's move on.
All right, you know what? Actually, let's move on, okay? Because I didn't even talk about who is in this movie yet. Okay, this movie stars Sam Neill as Alan Grant, Laura Dern as Ellie Sattler, Jeff Goldblum as Ian Malcolm, and Lord Richard Attenborough as Mr. Hammond. This movie was directed by the one and only Steven Spielberg. You know, okay, so I do want to say in none of our previous movies, I have said nothing. I've said nothing about the cinematography because I don't really care. But, but I will say something about this one because when I'm watching this, there is not a whole lot of static shots. There's always some sort of sweep or zoom or pan, or this camera is moving from like start to finish.
I didn't see any pans until we got to the kitchen scene at the end, actually.
Ooh, and that's supposed to be better than my joke?
Oh, at least it makes sense.
Mine made sense.
No.
Yes.
What?
Yours took 2 minutes of explanation.
It just fell upon deaf ears. I'm sorry. God. All right. Now I will. Okay. Has when was the last time before now anybody has seen this movie?
All the way through, like easily 15 plus years.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
I don't know. It's been a while. It's been a long time.
I don't know the last time I seen this, and I remember this being like, because I've watched it a lot as a kid. Now I remember this being like a very like almost wholesome family movie.
I was thinking that I was looking at the timer. I was like, the first 41 minutes didn't exist to me as a kid.
Really?
Because 41 minutes in is when they get on the ride to go through the park, and it's like everything starts going down. It's like,
Yes.
I don't remember much before that.
What was really that bad about it?
Well, I'm not saying it's horrible, but like it's dark, it's creepy. There's like bloody limbs. People are being eaten alive. I'm watching this. I was like, man, it's really a dark movie. And I honestly thought it was a little bit more like for kids.
Yeah, no,
I'm sorry, man.
it's pretty good for
I'm not
kids.
feeling it. I think it's fine.
No, it's fine. It's just darker than I remember. That's all I'm saying. Okay. The movie opens up. Let's get into the movie a little bit here, right? Okay, so the movie opens up with this really intense raptor scene. They're putting the raptor in its cage, right?
Yeah.
And I don't really have much to say about this except for the fact that I think it was kind of weird how the guy was like dragged into the cage and he didn't see anything because he was really far out.
So I was really annoyed by that the whole time we were watching as well because they show they line it up and they show the raptor moving like it's going into the pen.
Yeah.
And then they show the guy getting dragged back into the cage. And it's like, did it leave the cage or is it still in the cage?
I don't know. Was there more than one in there maybe? I don't remember.
Yes, like sardines.
Yes. But no, I thought it was kind of weird because I think like the guy's ankles were barely by that cage and he was like pulled right in, of course, because it's all like creepy. But like I thought you'd see the dinosaur at that point. But
you know what annoyed me is they had a forklift.
Yes.
The fuck did they not just get a ramp and drive the forklift up and put it right up with the forklift? Like, why did they have to forklift it up to this like 4 foot tall platform, set it down, and have like 6 or so guys dragging it into place?
It's for the dramatic effect.
And
It's to
he
make it
spared
epic.
no expense
Yes.
except he didn't have any other way to open the gate except for to have a guy go up there and be like, "Ooh, this is really heavy."
And I thought that was
Get a
weird
gate
too.
opener thing. I don't know.
A fucking pulley.
Yeah.
I thought that was kind of weird too because it looks like the one guy's lifting up this like solid steel door.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, if he's able to lift it, why is his dinosaur not just tearing ass right out of
I
there?
know. Okay, but despite this whole dark velociraptor,
You almost said Velocipaster.
I keep wanting to say, despite this scene, okay, the real thing that gets me about the beginning of this movie is when we cut to Dr. Grant and Sattler and they're doing the bones, whatever. Man,
With the boning?
I don't like the kid.
Of course.
Oh, yeah,
Of course you don't like that kid. You probably don't like the other two
No,
kids.
actually, I like the other two kids,
But
I don't
it
have a
doesn't-
problem with them.
But in any movie we've watched that has kids,
Yeah.
you've always singled one out and hated them.
Yeah, I guess that's kind of true. And I honestly thought I was going to hate the other two, but I actually think they did a great job.
Yeah,
I
I'd agree
don't
with
like
that.
kids, but like they were 100%. They were 100% believable. But when that one kid's like,
That doesn't look very scary. More like a 6-foot turkey.
that's so bad.
I
That was
also
awful.
hated, is it Dr. Grant?
Yeah, the guy.
I hated his attitude towards the kid in this scene, too. It's like, who gives a shit if some snot-nosed brat's talking shit at your demo here? Ignore him and keep moving on. Why are you going to threaten the shit out of him?
Actually, I didn't like his attitude for like at least the first half of this movie. He was driving me crazy. Like, I don't know. I wish I
more
could.
of a jerk than I remembered.
Yes. He was, I don't know, his character was a bit obnoxious, but,
You know whose character was a bit obnoxious?
Oh, can I guess? Oh, actually, it's between two. Is it Dr. Malcolm?
Yeah.
Okay, because for a second I was thinking maybe Dennis Nedry.
Yeah, which his name is
Love
just...
that guy.
Okay, so Dennis Nedry is obviously like the computer whiz.
Yeah.
And his last name just switched the 2 letters, and it's Nerdy.
Jesus.
I did not catch it.
No, not at all.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah. 'Cause I had the subtitles on, and I'm reading it as I'm watching it, and I thought it said Nerdy at first.
Ah,
And then
Yeah.
I was like, oh, it's Nedry.
the hacker.
Yeah,
Then it's
the-
Nerdy.
The hacker.
Yes. The hacker.
Because that's a
90s.
company that hire hackers, not programmers or,
Oh man. I don't know. Okay. All right. But
it's the 90s.
let's just kind of like get past this, right? Because okay, Hammond shows up. He needs
There's such
them
a dumb joke in this scene
in this scene.
when they're in the trailer with Hammond.
What? Did I miss it?
It's just a dumb joke where they're talking about children, and
Oh.
Hammond says something, and the other guy goes, "What is that?" And she's like, "They're like adults but smaller."
Oh yeah, yeah.
It's so dumb, but it made me laugh out loud.
Stupid joke. I can't believe it was funny. No, okay. But yeah, no, he shows up and he needs them. He needs them to support or like endorse his park.
Yeah, because of the incident with the employee getting killed,
Oh.
they had a $20 million lawsuit, and they're like, "Hey, unless you can prove the park is good and have like some
Yeah.
unbiased people go through it, you're fucked."
Right. Okay. And okay, so they go on this trip. And there's 2 things I hate about this helicopter scene, and I didn't write them down, but man, they have been on my mind since I watched this. 1, I hate the fact that apparently Dr. Grant is extremely stupid and doesn't know.
Yes. Oh my god.
He doesn't know how like seatbelts work. And then by tying them together, he didn't even tie, he just crisscrossed them. So they're just going to come loose again. And by doing that, he takes the seatbelt away from somebody else. It's
Which
so
is
dumb.
like his wife or whatever.
like-
Are they married? I don't understand.
know.
I couldn't figure out their relationship exactly. Are they married, or are they just like love interests, or are they
I
just
don't
kind of
know.
like
They
friends
are together.
that just like
They do
bang
say
or
that at one
something?
point.
Okay.
Yeah,
'Cause,
but
Well, no, he says it.
yeah.
Oh.
But is he
yeah.
just saying that because he wants to be with her,
I don't
or because
know.
he is?
That's a good question because I just thought they were kind of together, not married, but then they're talking about kids. So I don't know. It's a good
Yeah,
question.
so I don't know. Do they want to be together? I don't know. Just do it, guys. Just get together. You're perfect for each other.
So good. Okay. Now, I do like this other part where there's all this commotion going on. Like, it actually might be even before the stupid belt buckles. But I like when the guy's like, oh, there it is. Like this island just came into view and they're like literally on top of it.
They do that later too with some things.
Yeah, I was gonna say they pull that a lot where it's like they just reveal something like it was never there before.
Yeah. And it's like right in plain view.
In fact, I believe another one of those is coming right up because
Yeah.
after this they get into the Jeeps and begin to drive and do a small tour
Yeah.
towards the island.
Yes.
Oh God, this annoyed me.
And they're like, hey, look right over there. There's like a 300-foot dinosaur.
Yes.
How do they not miss?
Yeah.
Or how do they miss that pulling up?
No, okay.
It's
Even,
like-
even better.
Like they're roaring the whole fucking time. Like, did you not hear that as you're just driving the island?
Like, wait a minute, look at that thing right there.
and then
And it's 3 feet away from you, and it's fucking huge, and it's going.
and then he sits down and like sees this whole field of like dinosaurs like they weren't there before or something.
Yeah, they're like, oh, look at this one dinosaur. Wait a minute. There's 8,000 more right there.
You know what would have been interesting? Because obviously they
The
used
T-Rex ate them all right there.
And-
no. It would have been interesting because before he decided on using CG, they were actually going to be like animated. They were going to.
I think that'd be cool.
I think that would have been really
Like
really
animatronic,
cool.
like
No, like almost like Ray Harryhausen style, where they were gonna like make little models and animate them all.
oh, that would have been really
Like-
cool.
like
Yeah.
stop motion.
And if you look, yeah, it's stop motion. And if you look online, you can actually find they have test videos of what they would have looked like,
that's
kind
really
of.
neat.
And it's actually really cool. Would have looked really awesome. I don't know as if it would have been as realistic as this per se, but of course, obviously, when they had the test videos back of these dinosaurs, this was of course the route they went. But yeah, no, it's really cool. You should check it out. It's pretty neat.
I know we talked about this before we watched it. We mentioned, I wonder if the CGI will hold up.
Yes.
And I think the first dinosaur they show is the only one where it really doesn't hold up the first Brachiosaurus or whatever.
Yeah.
It's a little like, but after that, even like all the ones down by the water,
Yeah.
I don't think I saw CGI that really bothered me throughout the rest of the movie.
No, the first one, I kind of thought the same thing. Like, that looks a little cheesier than I expected, but I think that was like a maybe a lighting issue. I think the way they shaded it to like, with the sun or something, I don't know. It just seemed like it was a little maybe like too bright.
They were in the shade and it was well lit all over its body.
Well, yeah, but I mean, he's taller than the trees, so I don't know if
But he's next to the tree. His body still be shaded.
I guess, but did anybody else think that was weird when the dinosaur stood on its hind legs to get the bite from the top of the tree?
At the exact same height that was already eating?
Yes!
Okay, yeah.
Yes! I thought that was really weird.
I guess I didn't notice
Yeah, okay, it's cool, and like, ooh, it's a spectacle, but I'm like, that did nothing. But yeah,
The dinosaur was like,
Dinosaur was just stunting on them. Like, look what I can do.
Exactly. Check me out, homie.
oh man. But no, okay, so Mr. Hammond takes him like and explains like, oh my God, they got T-Rexes and all this stuff. He's gonna show him how they do it. And so he takes him on the whole like DNA ride thing and does his whole little spiel. And you know what I hate the most? Again, Grant being like, he's just, I don't know, he kind of comes off as like arrogant to me. He forces himself out of the he forces himself out of the ride.
Wait. We missed something here.
What's up?
Wow. Why can I not remember any of the characters' names? The billionaire behind all this.
Oh, Mr. Hammond.
Yeah. I love when he starts doing the movie and he's like, he stands up there. He's like, oh, wait, I have lines. And he's like trying to dig through his note cards and the lines are already going and he's behind it. And it's just.
The thing with him is I'm glad I had subtitles on because even when I was younger, he says words sometimes. I'm not sure what he's saying.
Yeah.
I'm serious.
I guess I didn't get
He just has kind of like this thick accent and that's fine. But sometimes like obviously, even when I was younger, I knew he was saying DNA. But when he's like, oh, Mr. DNA, it sounds like he says E. And I always yes, but no, he has certain words throughout the movie. I never knew what the hell he was saying until today. I should have wrote them down. I could have gave you guys a better example. But no, the Grant gets out of this stupid ride and they go into this really sterile looking environment where everybody's like wearing suits and shits, and they're just
There's
like
apparently just a door right off of the movie theater too. Like,
yes,
I was really confused by that.
But no, I was like, what an asshole. He just like strolls up in there. He's like nothing on. He's touching stuff and checking stuff out.
Well, I mean, to be fair, that guy's like, hey, I want you to inspect all of this stuff, but I'm going to put you in a ride and just show it to you.
Okay.
But nobody shows you what they're hiding. So if his job is to inspect, he's got to get in there and just,
Well, I guess I'm just saying he could have waited till after the ride, suited up maybe, and then gone and done his investigatory things. Just say, I don't know.
Well, I just, what's this guy's name again?
Grant or Hammond?
Grant. He finds a way.
Yes. Oh my God.
Grant finds a way.
Oh,
Grant finds a way.
man, Jeff Goldblum in this movie.
I didn't like him at all.
He was both my favorite character and my least favorite character.
Yeah.
Because there were some times I was like, that's funny. And there were times I was like, please just shut the fuck up.
Oh my
Usually
God.
immediately after each other.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, you know what? Let's veer off a little bit here. Let's talk about favorite characters. Let's get into this. Okay, who is your favorite out of all of them?
I just told you.
You said he was your favorite at least. So you're picking them for both.
Yeah, he's both.
All right, fine. Mike.
I mean, yeah.
Favorite and least. Let's do both now.
That's tough. Come back to me. You go first.
All right, my favorite. Honestly, he had probably the smallest part, but I like Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah, he was pretty cool.
He was like so laid back and just like the most believable character. And Nedry is my least, but not because he did a bad job. He actually did a great job because I hated him so much. So much.
I was going to pick Nedry as my favorite.
No,
Yeah,
I could totally see it.
I was
could
going to
totally
say,
see
because,
it.
especially the intro where he's setting up the deal, I love that scene.
Dotson.
Oh, yeah.
We've got Dotson here.
Yep.
Yeah.
Who cares?
So I think Nedry would be my favorite, and least favorite would probably be Nedry.
Man, you guys all have like the double up, and I got like.
No, I can't actually think of anyone I really disliked. Hammond was a little annoying, because he was just so aloof. throughout the whole.
He's eccentric. I'm assuming billionaire.
Yeah, like
Guy's got money like nobody's business.
People are dying. Minor setback.
yeah, like At one
I
point, his
know.
grandchildren are in danger, and people have died all over the park, and he's like, "We just have to rework a little."
Okay, but
The
he
whole
showed some
island
general concern.
is blowing up. It's okay. We can get a new one.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah. I'm just saying, unless he's got like insurance, this guy's got some money. But he is a little eccentric. He just knows what he wants. Okay? It's just the kind of guy he is. I will say, I didn't think there was really, aside from the stupid kid in the beginning, I didn't think there were any real
Oh,
bad
you know what?
performances.
If I had to have an actual least favorite character, the kid in the beginning was actually awful.
Yeah, no, I think everybody actually did a great job in this movie. And, you know,
Also, in the kid's defense, I don't think the kid's acting was terrible. I think the
the-
role for the kid was terrible.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
It just wasn't believable. It wasn't
And
a
I blame
believable
the kid.
scenario. You know?
Yeah, I guess.
I heard that. And I blame the kid.
When in doubt, blame the
Oh,
children.
man. Dennis,
That
you know,
I was like, that almost slipped into the background.
I wish it would have. You're just making my hate for kids just really apparent. No, Dennis, I get that he's supposed to be hated, and I think he did a great job. I don't even know that actor's name, and I've seen him in other movies, and I think he's a really great actor. But the thing that I hate most about this guy and his character is the whole reason all this is happening is because John is not paying him enough money. And he wants to go pretty much where the money is, right?
Okay.
What bothers me is he has, coming up here actually, he has the scene with Hammond where like he's at his desk and he's bitching and griping, and Hammond's like, look, I'm sorry about your financial problems, but they are your problems. And he's like, do you know anybody else who could do what I do for what I bid? You're the reason you're not making enough money. This is your fucking bid. You can't get mad at him.
I guess that's true, unless it was one of those things where like he bid a certain thing, and then this guy keeps kind of adding on to like, well, you know, I also need you to program in this, like, their great 3D interface for their files.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Why? What was happening?
Cutting edge technology that was spared no expense.
No expense.
No
and
expense.
I love like how he's like, and we have to go through our computer system in like virtual reality, and has the guy with, like the gloves.
Oh my God. I forgot about that.
It's so great,
What are
dude.
you doing?
No, it's good.
Stop! Just get a fucking mouse and keyboard.
Oh man.
Okay. Since we're on that, it happens a little later in the movie, but did you notice that the girl had like, almost no idea how to use a mouse?
I noticed that too. She's like, I'm a hacker.
Yeah. Like,
I
legitimately.
can use a computer.
Her hands all contorted.
And they kept cutting back to it.
Unless,
so
you know
good.
what? Unless she had some sort of deformity in her hand, and I'm making fun of it. I do apologize.
Man.
But
I don't.
You know. It was bad.
But yeah, I just blamed him for the fact he wasn't making enough money. All right, that's it. But so I think like shortly thereafter, Dennis puts his plans into action. Right? Okay, so people go on the little trip to go see the park, and then obviously there's a bunch of no shows. They're not seeing no dinos. They did see the
Sick Triceratops.
sick Triceratops where they're digging through the poop and everything. And oh my God, I didn't write this down either, but apparently this is not escaping my mind. Was that not the sexiest walk from Jeff Goldblum
Yes.
up to that big pile of shit?
Yes.
I don't think I noticed
saw
it.
that. He was just like,
Yeah.
look at that shit.
I mean, half of his scenes were him laying around like going, paint me like one of your French girls with his shirt hanging open.
I
Like,
know. He's like all sweaty and his like chest is all exposed.
that had to be the best paycheck for him. They're like, listen, you're going to do about 5 minutes of acting, and then all we need you to do is just lay sexily on a table. That's it. That's your whole job.
Man. But yeah, we got to that scene where they're going up the Triceratops, and it just cuts, and he's doing like this like catwalk style walk, and I'm just like, holy crap, dude! I was like, damn.
that pile of poop was nearly as tall as the Triceratops. Like, it was as tall as Goldblum.
Yeah. That, and that's the thing too. I mean, unless of course they
Does
were
that thing just stand there all day pooping?
maybe, but I did read that unless of course they were piling that up, that is unrealistic. The size of the
Yeah,
poop
but
pile.
there was that guy there next to it. Like, I don't know, like the zookeeper
Yeah.
or whatever.
Pile.
Yeah.
So maybe he was like, as he was keeping an eye on her, like, I'm going to, consolidate all of the shit piles today.
Yeah, I could see that.
So maybe. I don't know.
Maybe.
Could be.
Maybe. Yeah. So okay. So,
I hope he's got a guy for that. Like that's like, oh yeah, you're the head doctor for all the dinosaurs, but you also have to shovel shit.
Yeah, oh man, hey, they might be getting paid really well. Apparently more than Dennis, because that's why he's like getting out of there. Which, by the way, so the storm's rolling in. They got to cut this short, okay? And so people got to get back to their cars. Dennis finds out he's got a small window from his video phone call that was just a played video. I don't know if you guys caught that.
Yeah, yeah, that's funny. He's like, we're doing the video call. It's supposed to be like a live stream back and forth, but there's like the progress bar for the video, and it's nearing its end.
I know.
I didn't catch that at all.
Really? Damn.
How can you show how much is left in a live call? How the fuck does the computer know that? It's because he spared no expense. The computer could imagine when the call is going to end.
Oh, of course, yeah. And that's why he knew he had to wrap up the call, because like, oh shit, we're coming to the end of it. And maybe it's a prepaid situation, it was coming to the end of his time. But yeah, I seen that. I'm like, well, that's kind of weird. But okay, so yeah, he's got a small window of opportunity of like 15 minutes, which the doc guy can't even guarantee that he's still going to be there. So he puts his plan to action. He sets up his little I don't know, program.
Yeah, his little program to hack the system, I guess.
Yes, and apparently at least he was smart enough to not power down the raptor cage, but everything else was powered down, and he split.
This is actually why he was my favorite from this time around.
Why is that?
His nervous trying to be like, hey, I'm just doing this, but I did this. Like just his run around and failing with his words. I loved that so much.
Like totally normal. Yeah, this is a test.
They should have totally known something was up. I'm gonna go to the vending machines, and I just the single over here. Did you guys want something from the vending machines? And he's just like all over the place. But yeah, he goes and he snags up all the embryos, and that's another thing too. They have one for like every fucking dinosaur. Yeah. How common are these insects?
That's what I was wondering too. They had a huge selection of dinosaurs, and how often do you run across a gigantic, frozen in time
mosquito?
Mosquito. That's what I'm looking for.
I was curious about too, and I was trying to look it up. And I guess in the lore, he has like the largest private owned collection of amber in the world because he bought so much of it, trying to find anything he could and mined so much of it.
Touch your leg a little bit there. Sorry.
Ooh, Jesus.
Getting fresh
this side of the table is a little too spicy.
Anyway,
not PG over here.
I need the gopher grip to get you over there.
But I seen all the embryos and stuff, and I'm like, that's a lot, man. I mean, I get that he has like the world's largest collection of this stuff, but I'm like, how common is this?
I don't know.
That's kind of what everyone was arguing about when I was reading.
But again, nobody knows, so it could be.
And obviously, the whole concept of making these dinosaurs from like frog DNA and ostrich egg, this is all like blown out of proportion, would never happen. But I'll be honest,
Are you a doctor scientist?
I guess I'm not 100%, but from what I'm not a dinosaurist, but from what I know, it couldn't happen. But regardless, they gave us a semi-believable story. I mean, for somebody who doesn't know anything, I can get behind it.
I know nothing of science, but I believe what this man is telling me.
And that's how most people are.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm just saying. I mean, I know it can't happen, but as a story, it's all right, man. It's all right. Anyway,
based on a true story.
Anyway.
The story is true. There's truly a story here.
Yes.
I told it.
Yeah.
There you go. But okay, so this is the one thing. Oh my God. Watching Dennis's escape or shit show of an escape.
I feel like that's the best part of the movie.
Oh, it's really good.
And it's funny. I thought it was hilarious.
That dinosaur's creepy as shit, dude.
It's cute.
No. Like, at first. But when it's weird, neck rattly guy opens up.
Why was it rattly?
I don't know.
Don't they do that, though? Don't they actually have those?
Well, they have the things, but I don't know if they make that. I don't know. I don't know.
Maybe that was just a rattlesnake nearby that was also making the sound. It's just coincidence.
But man, when that thing opens up and it does this little weird roar thing, and dude, no. I
just love the interaction
dinosaur
between Nerdy and that dinosaur. He's like, get the stick. No wonder you're extinct. And then he's like, when I get back down here, I'm gonna run you over.
Yeah, I love that part.
And I'm just cracking up. I'm like, wow, this dude's dick.
I didn't see it this time around. I only watched this movie once, unfortunately. I tried to watch them twice, but I watched it once. I do believe, and maybe you guys seen it, but is there a scene where you can see the dinosaur in the background get into the car?
I didn't see it either, and I was.
Yeah, I think there is, but I didn't see it.
Oh, okay.
Okay, because I was questioning that too. I was like, how did he get in? Like, that seems kind of cheesy. But at the same time, I'm like, I don't know what was going on when he was outside of the car. Maybe another one got in.
Yes.
Or maybe that's the same one. And
No,
I don't know what the fuck happened.
and I think it's a different one. I don't think it's the same one. But for some reason, I didn't see it. But I want to say I remember as a kid being able to see it in the background of a shot. I don't know. I'm probably making shit up.
I have the same memory, and I feel like I'm going crazy.
Yeah, I think we're just making this up 100%. I don't know. Oh, man. Okay, so, oh my God. Let me ask you guys something. What do you think, Mike, we'll start with you, is the most iconic scene of this movie? I actually think this movie is like jam-packed with them, but I feel like one should win over all others. What one reigns supreme?
Clever Girl.
Oh, really? Interesting.
I mean, like, it's the most quoted. Everyone knows it. And it's like a turning point in the movie, kind of.
Okay, no, fair enough. There are no wrong answers.
I can't, honestly, I can't think of any others off the top of my head. But that one's, when you say iconic scene, that's the first one that comes to mind.
Interesting. Okay, he's wrong. What do you got?
He's wrong. What do you mean he's wrong?
I'm just kidding. All right, when you think about this movie, what's the most iconic scene?
For me, because obviously I saw it as a kid, I mean, everybody has. Most familiar for me was the kitchen scene.
Oh man, these are all really good.
I just like as soon as I saw it, like I just felt the nostalgia instantly of she's trying to get in the cupboard and she can't close it and stuff. So
I remember that
for me.
scene being so tense as a kid. Like it was.
This time
amazing.
around, it was like I'm like doing two other things. Yeah, it's a good movie.
Multitasking.
Good movie.
No, because here's the thing. Whenever I think of this movie, there's one scene that comes to mind, but even I think it's not the most iconic. Okay, is the scene when they're in the cars. Okay, we're actually at this point in the movie where shit is getting real because it's raining, it's dark now, and you hear like the and the water ripples, in the cup. And I'm thinking that's the most iconic scene, but I think that's not it. I think it's not it.
Oh, the toilet. When he's on the toilet and he's like,
No, you know what I think actually is the most iconic scene? Because they've actually made memes from this scene. Anybody? Any more guesses?
I got nothing.
Oh, I do. Now you say memes. The only meme I can think of is when he's laying on the belly of the sick dinosaur and he's listening to it. Because there's this meme where they replaced it with Jeff Goldblum leaning back.
I've seen that.
And he's actually listening to his belly, and it's funny. That's all I can think of. Fucking Jeff Goldblum.
I know. Okay,
Love
see
that
that?
guy.
No. So stupid. No, the scene where
Can we have that meme just put in on the video
that, like,
right
playing
there?
while I'm describing it.
Oh, it's so
Find the GIF.
stupid. I
Look
forgot
it up.
about that. No,
Oh, it's so good.
I'm talking about where they're trying to make the escape with Jeff Goldblum, and the dinosaur's chasing behind him, and he's like, must go faster.
I didn't like that scene.
Really?
Yeah, because you have this kind of I can't remember the guy's name, but you have like that hunter guy, that like safari specialist guy.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
he
yeah.
knows how to hunt anything and kill it, whatever. He knows how to track it. And he's like, Jeff Goldblum sitting in the back, and he's like, I hear something. I hear a gigantic like dinosaur the size of 20 elephants walking towards us. We got to go now. And so then they go.
Yeah.
Wouldn't the tracker guy have heard that a mile away?
You know, honestly, I think this whole movie's kind of filled with tiny grapes like that.
Jeff
Weren't they both
Goldblum
down
is
at the
like-
car?
Yeah, but they weren't that far. They were like 20 feet away.
Yeah.
I mentioned it to take some fucking stairs or something. Did you see how far of a drop that was? They
Yes.
probably were probably getting back to the car because it was just far.
Okay. I wonder, because obviously you pointed out to me, I don't know if you did too, but you pointed it out to me. This is the biggest, the biggest flaw of this movie. And that is when the original T-Rex attack, this thing comes through the fence and it's terrorizing the people in the car, or the cars. And the T-Rex walks right out. And then when they're trying to escape it, they have to descend so far. It is ridiculous.
Yeah.
This movie is actually
I forgot about that.
jam-packed with tiny little flaws, which most of them, if I didn't know, I probably would not have seen.
Minus 10 points.
But that one is insane. Like,
Yeah,
and
it
like I said, I wonder if I would have caught it now. But when I was younger, I didn't even think about
Another
it.
thing that bothered me with the whole scene is, okay, so the electricity goes out.
Yes.
The T-Rex, just like, you don't even hear him like attacking the wires. You just hear like him pushing through and like the wires just snapping.
Yeah.
Right? So then the T-Rex knocks out the glass on top of the SUV.
Yes.
And the little girl's in there and she's pushing the glass up
Right.
against him. He just broke these cables that are like that big around.
I think
Yeah.
I've heard rumors of this. I have no idea if it's true or not, but that glass wasn't supposed to move.
No, it wasn't. I read
that was
the
an
same
accident.
thing.
The glass popped out because the animatronic thing they had was so heavy, it just knocked it loose. So they were actually holding the glass up in that scene.
Oh, okay.
Which, by the
So
way,
she was in real danger.
I was about to say, how freaky would that have been when you're not expecting that and you have this, like, I don't even know how many 100-pound animatronic coming down so far. It enters the car and pushes that, plexiglass on top
What
of
I
you.
think is more fascinating about that is that, so that wasn't planned. There's this
No.
little girl in there
Yes.
about to be crushed by an animatronic, and they just keep filming.
Well, you got to get the shot,
They're not like,
man.
oh no, stop, save. They're like, well, let's see
Well,
where this goes.
Now, wait a minute. I can't tell. There are some cuts in this scene. It could have been cut, and then when everybody was okay, like,
Recreated.
we are going to just run with that because that was a great shot.
Maybe.
That's why I've always said
I
rumor
suppose.
when I hear about that, because it seems like, yeah, you think when this giant animatronic crushes through the window and everyone sees like, oh, the kids are going to get crushed in the car, they probably would have stopped.
Oh, I'd assume so. And then on top of that, I guess I had I heard an interview with the little girl, and she was talking about, I guess on one shot, I guess one of the teeth fell out or something. There were actually a bunch of little tiny things throughout this movie, and even like the kitchen scene you were talking about. I think the scene where the little boy was trying to run away from the Velociraptor into the freezer, when he went to dodge him, he was supposed to go one way, and the Velociraptor was supposed to go the other way.
You're really struggling with
I
that.
am. I'm so struggling with this. And apparently it went the wrong way, and they actually, like, I guess maybe the claw or hand or something of the raptor animatronic like hit him in his head and bruised him or something.
Oh.
Yeah. There were like little, and then even during the filming they had to go through like they had to wait out a hurricane or something. A lot of shit was happening on this movie.
Yeah, that's
man.
why they lost. What's his name? The guy who's always smoking.
The guy who's always smoking.
Oh, Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah.
Oh.
Why could I not think of Samuel L. Jackson? They apparently lost his. They had a big death plan for him,
Really?
and I guess they lost it due to the hurricane. Like they just couldn't have time to shoot it.
Oh, and that's why it was just like he disappeared. Here's an arm.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. All right. So yeah, okay. Let's kind of backtrack. We'll rewind to where we were, because
Rewind,
yeah.
guys.
Okay. Yeah.
They said the thing.
Don't you just love it when they say it in the movie?
Yes. No. I can understand the cinematics and epicness behind where they escape this T-Rex when it escapes and all this stuff. And that's why I actually really like these children actors. I can get behind them. They were like really believable.
Yeah.
And so when the kid was the little boy was stuck in the car and the girl and Grant were descending from this tree or whatever, and the car lands in the tree. I'm not the kind of guy who knows a lot about physics or most anything, but when this car starts falling, I doubt it would just keep falling straight. I feel like it would have like hit at some point and started veering off the tree or flipping out of the tree or something.
Yeah,
you know?
I think so too.
It was the cables.
And it just, yes. But no, it coming
That's my
down was
excuse.
cool. But like when you're watching it, kind of keeping that in mind, it almost looks kind of
I know.
weird.
It
I was
did-
also annoyed they
yeah.
didn't just climb to the left or go around the tree a little bit. Like there was, if you see a shot, there's actually no branches on the backside of the tree. So it's like they literally couldn't just climb around the
Oh,
other side.
well.
Because you could think like, oh yeah, let's climb straight down with the car coming at us instead of just going around the tree.
Well, wait a minute though. Could they go around the tree? I mean, wasn't it kind of close to the wall? Maybe there is no back behind that tree.
I don't
Maybe.
know.
I
But
don't
yeah,
know.
I mean, like you said, I can't say for sure, but it did feel a little unnatural the way the car was falling.
Yeah.
And how it would stop, like on a tree branch, it seemed super sturdy.
Yeah.
It wasn't like the tree branch was like cracked a little bit and then it started falling. It was like, stop, dead stop.
Oh yeah.
And then the branch suddenly just miraculously like broke again and
Yeah.
kept going. It just seemed very sudden to stop the car and very sudden to start the car.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's not horrible. I didn't hate it. I mean, it was fine. It added suspense and action. And of course, it the whole little joke at the end where the kid's like, we're back in the car again. It's pretty good.
It's one of those things where it's like, if you weren't watching the movie being analytical because you're about to talk about it and review it,
exactly.
would you even notice it as a problem?
No, probably not. Honestly,
he threw up in the car, and then the car flipped over on them.
The car threw
Puke
up on
went
them.
on him. Yeah, car threw up on them.
wait. He threw up in the car?
Yeah.
Wait, when Grant goes to climb in the car, he just looks and goes, I threw up.
Oh, that's right.
He's like, don't worry, I won't tell anybody. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
I forgot
Get the fuck out of the car.
Yeah. Inside, he's like, I want to fucking kill you right now. Why are you concerned about that?
Oh, man.
It's like, I'm about to leave you in the car.
That is one thing I like about this movie, and they do it really well. A lot of movies need to do this, and I don't think other movies do this well, is where they can go from a really intense, horrible situation and then bring it right back down to bring it right down to move my pop filter. Bring it right back down to being lighthearted and fun again.
Yeah, I actually really like the scene when they're in the tree and they're watching the dinosaurs. And like the dinosaurs are just being dinosaurs.
Yeah.
They wanted to tell you in a way that the dinosaurs are not being the bad guy of the movie.
Right, no.
There's no real villain here except for maybe the guy who brought them back. Like the rich guy.
Nedry was kind of the villain. Because he shut down the whole
arguably.
park to steal the stuff, so it's like he
I guess.
technically caused all of these problems. Like, the dinosaurs would have just continued being boring ass dinosaurs. Like they would have been zoo animals. Legitimately, they're just big zoo animals.
Yeah, they're just living their lives, man.
Yeah, because he even said that at that point when she's like, I don't like them eating dinosaurs. He's like, but they're just being they're just doing their thing. Like nobody's really doing anything wrong here. It's just a situation.
There's also a really dumb joke as they go up into that tree. It's like, well, you don't like trees. It's like, well, you weren't in the last one.
Oh, that's true.
That's pretty good.
I thought you were talking about the other joke.
Oh, the blind dinosaur.
Yeah.
Oh
No,
no, that was. We'll just not talk about that.
Yeah,
one.
you watch the movie to figure that one out, or look it up, or something. I don't know. No. You know what I hate in the scene though?
The kids.
No, I don't mind these kids. I like these kids.
I'm just gonna always assume you hate kids.
No, you know what I hate? I hate Dr. Grant's weird bronchiosaurus call.
Yeah.
Dude, is there a...
Dude, I heard.
the fuck was that?
Should we open the door? Look outside.
No. Oh
We all heard that we didn't see when we walked in.
Now, maybe dinosaurs, or at least those kinds of dinosaurs, are a playful type of animal because there are playful animals, like a dog. A big dog could kill you in like a second, but it plays with you nicely. He has this branch, and he's feeding the dinosaur, and he's like, I'm not going to let go.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking this dinosaur is going to rip you out of that tree and just fling you off in the distance, like not even
I
a
feel
care,
like
like a
also-
little bug.
Yes.
I was gonna say the dinosaur wouldn't even notice him resisting.
Yeah.
It would literally be like an ant on a person, just like, oh, shoot.
Sounded funny if like he didn't let go and it just like took him off the trees like dangling there. But yeah, I thought the same thing. I was like, I don't think you're gonna keep his head there, dude.
But then I thought, well, maybe the dinosaur knows what's going on, like a dog or something, and like doesn't want to injure the man. I don't
Yeah, I
know,
also
but it
find out,
seemed
like,
weird.
Those dinosaurs, they're fucking huge.
Yeah.
So when you
Yes.
see them in the distance, they're actually pretty far away.
Yeah.
How the fuck did they even hear his call in the first place?
Maybe they have great hearing.
yeah, they're big. I mean, I guess
Big ears.
big ears, man. Maybe.
Okay.
I don't
Fuck me then.
Okay.
know. Yeah.
Sold.
Yeah, no, you've defeated my argument. I just thought I hated that call so much.
Yeah, it was really stupid. It's so lame. Oh man. Okay, so I'm sure there's some things that happen in between what I'm about to say, and if there's something you guys want to touch on, just let me know. But all I know is we do get a couple of shirtless Malcolm shots, and then it's pretty much.
Yeah, we'll touch on those.
Yeah.
But it's pretty much they need to turn the power back on.
Right. Yeah, that's pretty much the whole premise of this movie is we need to get the power back on.
Yes. And okay, so originally to get the power back on, they send Samuel L. Jackson's character out there, and they don't hear from him for a while. So now that Hunter guy and then Dr. Sattler, is it Sattler or Statler? I can't remember.
I missed that.
Dr. Sattler.
When they sent him out, I missed the little line of dialogue where he was going out.
Okay.
Especially as a kid, I missed that. So I don't know why, as a stupid kid, I just always assumed that was the Hunter's arm in there, and he had died.
Oh.
And then his scene comes up after, and every time I would be confused because I just assumed he died.
Also, why did he have a black arm? He was a white guy a minute ago.
Didn't even notice
that's what
that, to be
happens.
honest.
It was just severely
It was-
bruised after it was ripped off the body. You know.
I may or may not have been scrolling Reddit through this scene. What the hell? When did she get hurt? What was with that run?
Thank you. I was wondering that too. The only thing I could place to that is when the raptor went to go through that door and she kicked it closed. I mean, but I'm struggling with that.
I could see, though, as she's running around and going down the stairs and stuff, she could have hurt herself somewhere.
Yeah, I mean,
they just didn't specify.
It was just-
yeah. It
That was
weird.
an awkward ass run. Like,
Yeah, because I thought the same thing. I was like, I
What
must
the
have
hell?
missed something, because why is she limping right
That
now?
was a little weird.
But yeah, so, because, yeah, she goes
that was
to...
like full on crazy. Like that was no limp.
yeah, it was a really weird wobbly limp. But no, okay. I do like when she does go to turn the power back on, though, where it ties in with the kids and Dr. Grant
Yeah.
going down that fence. Oh, so good.
Yeah, I have a problem with that whole scene. Though.
Really? Why?
It's 10,000 volts.
First of all, those kids could have fit through there.
You think so?
Yeah, dude. There's like a scene where
Dr.
they're like,
Grant, he couldn't even fit his head through one.
Dude, I'm telling you. Watch the scene. There's especially up at the top where like Timmy's like, I'm scared. Help me, Dad. He's like holding on, and his body's like already halfway through it as he's
I want
holding
to
on.
also make an argument. Have you ever seen a staircase banister?
A staircase banister. Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah. I see what you're saying.
It's like
Maybe. I don't know, man.
also those cables were floppy as shit.
he tried to stretch it.
I must have missed it.
I'm telling you, those kids could have made it through.
Well-
he may have had to climb over, maybe.
The T-Rex
Yeah,
cables were
but
floppy
the
as shit.
Kids,
Yes.
the kids would have been able to, and I also just love how he just launches off the fence.
Yes. You know what? I'm
Why would
glad
he
that
not be
happened.
instantly dead.
He
It's a-
was.
I don't know. Yeah, he was dead actually.
Okay, I guess you could say he was dead.
Yeah, he wasn't breathing. I think that constitutes for dead. but I do like that. I'm glad it wasn't just like oh, and he shakes off a fence. The fact that he was launched was really good.
Yeah,
I
and
like
they
that.
should have had him like his soul come out and be like, I learned how to fly.
Although I do like before he launches off the fence, like there's like this little like gap of time before that happens, and Dr. Grant's like, jump down, I'm gonna catch you, and they show an aerial shot. He's like 30 feet away. How far does that kid supposed to be jumping
He
here?
doesn't really want to catch him.
Kids
Yeah, he
got
did.
hops.
He's just like, I promise I will catch you. Come
Yeah.
on, it's fine.
But yeah, I'm like, whoa, you're telling him to jump. You're not gonna catch him. He's not gonna go anywhere other than straight down.
And when this whole power mission was going on here, the hunter guy, it just was weird. I don't know why. Like he was just out kind of hunting, strolling around, trying to find the.
Yeah.
He shouldn't. What? Just stay there, wait till this is done, and then drive away. He's like, I'm gonna find you. I'm looking around for you.
But I also like how he's talking like with Dr. Grant and Sattler in the beginning about how like, he knows so much of these guys and oh, this is what they do and how they are. And Dr. Grant knew about like how they pack hunted. How did this guy not know that?
Yeah, and then he was caught off guard by the thing that he knows so much about.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
This guy was just a dumbass.
Yeah, and I get that Dr. Grant's whole life is this, and this guy obviously must have just been some sort of like tracker hunter guy, so maybe he didn't know as much. Okay, I can give a pass.
He was just recruited from their other park in South Africa.
The flea circus?
Yeah. See, he's not used to big game.
Wait, what other park? What was the other park?
I don't know. They mentioned a park in like Kenya like 3 times.
Yeah, he did.
Oh,
mention
man, I guess I missed that.
I have no idea what this other park
Probably
is.
with some other wildlife that they caught or something.
Huh.
Look at these things. They're almost like dinosaurs.
Yeah.
Look at that one. It's big.
But okay, so the everything starts to cool down. They get the power back on, and Grant and the kids do make their way back to the visitor center or whatever it is. And he goes back out to find the wibbly wobbly lady, and the kids they're eating their Jello and snacks. I love this scene, man. I don't know. There's just something. It's not like it's like
I'm annoyed.
why?
So the girl, she's got her whole big plate of vegetables
Okay,
and Jello.
yeah.
Jello, yeah.
You know what gelatin is? She's a vegetarian.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Can't do that. However,
It's made from beef.
I can tell you that I have met a vegetarian that did not know that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
no, I
ate
was
Jello.
100%.
And I'm like,
I totally gave it a pass because she's a kid.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm sitting there annoyed. Like, I'm sure that was just the writers not even knowing.
Yeah.
No, I have something that I want to complain about in a second here. But until we get there, I like when she's just like, these kids have endured a lot of shit. So when she's like just like frozen in fear and her Jello is a shaking.
Wibbly wobbly.
I don't know, something about this whole like visitor center scene and the kitchen scene is really good.
Yeah, I think it's my favorite scene.
And
The whole
my
kitchen.
God, fuck that ladle man. Like,
Fuck the ladle man.
Anything's a dildo if you're brave enough.
when when they're in the kitchen and that poor kid is hiding and there's that hook that holds the ladle, and it's just like, you just out of nowhere, it just decides to, I'm gonna shift and drop this ladle. I'm like, oh, come on, man. It's so funny though. I love that scene. But yeah, they go through this escape. You know, Grant and Sattler, they help them. They climb through the ceiling. I don't like the fact that they're climbing over a drop ceiling.
Yeah.
Well, we should go back a little bit. When she's trying to close the dumb waiter's door, I really like that shot when the raptor comes running in and crashes into the reflection.
You know,
Yeah.
looking at that now, that whole entire scene's like a no-brainer. But when I was a kid, I didn't even understand that. I'm like, wait, what just happened? I knew it was a reflection, but I didn't know where she was, and I was so confused.
Yeah.
And it's really obvious. She just boop
I also
backside.
didn't really like how they over humanized or gave this weird anthropomorphic sense to the Velociraptor. Oh, I almost said it. Velociraptors.
See?
Just like there was like this one scene where in the kitchen and like they turn and it looks like they kind of like smile a little bit.
Oh yeah.
And it's like I mean I can't say that they didn't, but I don't know. It's just weird.
They're
They
just-
made them very human like.
they just tried to make them menacing. You
yeah,
know?
but I felt like it was a little bit too dramatic.
It was
there
a
was
bit
too much flair.
Yeah.
there
It was a
for
bit
me.
much.
Speaking of
I don't know. I
a
liked
bit much, the kitchen scene with the kids and everything is still probably one of my favorite scenes
Yeah.
in the whole movie.
Yeah, mine too.
But when the dinosaur slips into the freezer
Yeah.
Yeah,
and the kids managed to two or three grown men couldn't drag a guy who was getting eaten away from one of these things. But you're telling me a little 10-year-old kid can hold the door shut on him?
No, it latched, didn't it? And then he put the pin in.
That motherfucker had his snout and hands out multiple
that's
times,
right.
and
yeah, you're right.
yeah. That's what I have a problem with too. Just like the car scene, it's like they made these kids as strong as dinosaurs, but the grown-ups so weak to dinosaurs.
Okay. Let's go back to the freezer.
kids have +10 against dinosaur. Didn't you know that's just in their stat sheet?
Let's go back to the freezer. Maybe theoretically,
They became one with the dinosaur.
no, maybe he could hold the door shut because on his end he has a non-frozen floor.
Yeah.
and the dinosaur couldn't push because it was slippery.
Slippery,
So you see, it's slippery, and it's like the dinosaur's got the wibbly wobbly legs.
yes.
He's
Okay.
in there going
I
back and
can't,
forth.
I can't really defend the car because the only thing I do want to say is maybe the sides of the car was preventing his snout from going all the way in.
Dude, this thing, those wires, those
Excuse me.
cables were huge. Those cables have
They
so
were
much
like
strength.
2-inch thick steel cable.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
like he would have been able to crush that car with
He
like
did
his
crush that
face.
car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
He legitimately stood in the car and
yeah.
crushed like the A pillar, B pillar, like just completely flattened it.
Okay, that whole scene, going back to that just real quick, I just want to say I've seen this movie obviously when I was a kid a lot of times, and even knowing how this scene plays out, man, that scene is really intense. I like that scene a
I
lot.
love how the car sinks into the mud.
Yes.
So they start going under the water and the dirt and everything.
Yeah.
Like that's really well done.
I think that actually might even be like my scene. I do like the kitchen scene, but man, I really like that scene. I don't know, man. That's really good. But I will say, toward the end, they escape. They're in the room. They're trying to hold the door shut, right? And Dr. Grant can't possibly do it himself. Where this lady is holding the door, she is doing nothing. She's like pushing on the hinges.
Yeah, there's no
And she's
leverage
like,
over there.
I can't possibly get the gun. You can't do this on your own. I'm like, you're doing nothing, lady. Not a damn thing. And in the meantime, the hacker girl, she's hacking the system, and she gets everything back online.
Can I point out the younger kid did absolutely nothing here? He could have got the gun.
Yes.
He just stood there and watched her play on the computer the whole time.
Yeah.
They
He was like, "Oh shit, Minecraft."
they could have called out to him to get us the gun.
Yeah, I
But
get
anybody who has kids knows when your kid's on the computer and you're like, "Hey, help me," they're like, "Hold on."
yeah. 1 minute, like an hour later.
1 minute, and then it's like,
I need to reach a
all right,
save."
I'll get the gun. Damn it, Timmy, get the gun.
Oh, yeah, but dude, I hated that scene so much when she's pushing the door. I'm like, you are doing nothing. You are at the worst possible place for leverage. Not happening.
Yeah, I didn't even realize that.
So
Looking back at
stupid.
it, it's so dumb.
It is very dumb. I hate that part so much. You can't possibly hold it yourself. And I don't know. I
I know her foot also like easily reaches the gun. Like she can't get it.
Well, and that's the thing too. She's trying so hard to get the gun. Whatever's left back on the door anyway is still not doing anything, even if she was in a good spot. I just hated that so much. And I mean, who knows? Maybe in a panic mode, she thinks she's doing something. I don't know.
Have you ever seen, like, if we all saw how tiny the window was on the door.
Yeah.
So have you ever seen a cat try and squeeze through a tiny hole? Because I assume also raptors have to be able to do the same thing. Because how the hell, like it's coming through the glass. It's like, what the fuck? It was a porthole.
Well, okay, so they here's what I don't understand, okay? Let's get to the end of this movie because this also drove me nuts. In fact, actually, this is worse than holding the door. They get the power back online. Everything's back online. All the locks are in place, okay? And he calls Dr. Hammond. He's like, hey, or Mr. Hammond, whatever. He's like, the phones are working. And it's like, okay. They pick him up in a Jeep. They just drive over to the helicopter and like they fly away. Why is there no more danger? Because the power's back and everything's out of its cages.
Well, the T-Rex it ate him.
They're not the only dinosaurs. There's the Spinosaurus. There's
no, that was the Dilophosaurus.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't remember.
But
the falafel sauce? Dude, I love falafel.
Oh, duh.
But no, I was under the impression there was stuff still all over this island, and like, oh my god, they're all in danger. And then it's like, oh, the power's back on, and the helicopter's conveniently here right now. Let's just go.
Well, dude, don't you know that dinosaurs' weaknesses is electricity? Once you turn it on, you're not a dinosaurus, like I said earlier.
I'm not a dinosaurus.
Now, the whole point was they got the phones back online, so that was their big deal. Is they called in to get help.
Yeah, I guess.
So like that's why I guess like them calling is why the helicopter was there. It's like, oh, the phones are on, we can get help.
I guess he was there in like a huff, man. Like no time.
Yeah,
at
like
all.
a minute. Like we have this island way off the coast.
Yeah, it's like 120 miles.
Call this guy. He's there in like what, 15 minutes?
Yes.
And everybody else had to leave on a bus. I mean, I'm just confused.
Yeah.
I know what's going on here.
Because I mean, you're talking 15, 20 minutes away. The whole chase scene through the ceiling happened in that time.
Oh, there was all of that. That's right. Oh, and then they had that weird.
Because like the coming through the glass with the gunshots was on the phone.
Oh, I suppose.
So like there was some time, but not. And then
I guess we don't really know how long that took.
Yeah. Then the whole
Okay.
like the T-Rex skeleton.
But it is funny
Yeah.
that they did get to go all the way from there to the thing with no problem.
Nothing.
But the weird, like acrobat scene with the display of the dinosaur bones, where like they're swinging on them and they're all stuck up there and it's moving around. What the fuck? That was just trippy, man. What's going on?
I like how they
was
have these
weird.
bolts that are like, inch thick bolts.
Yeah.
4 of them in the ceiling, and they're just popping out.
Yeah.
Like it's like,
Yeah, that was kind of weird.
That whole scene for me was just. I can't say why it was bad. I just didn't like any of what was happening.
None of that really bothered me. I did think that was a little bit, because I thought the same thing. I'm like, I don't know how much these bones weigh, and then you got these people on there, and I thought the same thing. Like, these bolts should be holding just fine.
yeah, it was probably rated for like 10 times the weight of that
probably.
statue. Not statue, but
Right.
fucking fossil.
And obviously, I didn't catch this as a kid, but when they're so corny, it's so corny to a corny end when they're flying in the helicopter. He's got the kid sleeping on him. He looks at her, and it's like, oh man, we're gonna have kids now, I guess, because I'm for it.
Well, yeah, because he hated kids at the start,
Yeah.
and now he's like,
He
oh, you
gets
know
it
what?
now.
Kids
Yeah.
aren't so shitty.
Yeah, and then he looks out the window and sees storks, and I'm like, oh my god, how corny!
Were those storks?
They look like
I
storks.
thought they're pelicans.
I'm not a birdologist,
I'm not sure either.
but
I mean, as a kid, I thought they were dinosaurs.
I have to tell you the truth. When I saw them, I was like, shit, I thought those were pterodactyls when I was a kid.
same. Like,
well, I didn't know what to make
I
him
always
as a
thought that was a
kid.
plot hole. It's like, they're just leaving.
They're leaving the island. Life finds a way.
But then I, in my adult mind, started to twist it, and I was like, oh, this is how they open it up for the second one, because the whole movie, he is talking about how dinosaurs are closely related to birds, and then they show birds leaving the island, which my brain was like, oh, now I get it now. They're opening up saying the dinosaurs are going to leave the island because dinosaurs are
Whoa,
birds.
they evolved very quickly. But
Well, no, I didn't mean that. I just meant like they're
Oh, yeah.
showing like, hey, look at.
No, but
See,
I
we're putting them together.
I can't remember the second one how it opens up, but I thought the Barbasol thing being lost.
Oh, yeah.
And I thought, oh man, that's how that one is done. They must find that, even though the coolant only lasts like 36 hours or
Yeah.
something. So I was like, that
There's
can't
also
be.
like 6 copies of each dinosaur still back at the facility.
Yeah.
Which has its power on.
Oh yeah. You know what? I don't know, man. But this movie, I will say it holds up. I think it holds up.
No, it definitely does. Like, it doesn't look, except for the technology, is just shit.
I mean, you also got to remember this was probably filmed in late 92.
Probably. Yeah.
So it's like.
Yeah, dude, no, for being
But
like
it really
27
did.
years old,
Technology
that's nuts.
being shit. Speaking of that, when they first get onto the tour and the kid gets in the back, he goes, "Oh, look at this. It's like, it's got a CD and touchscreen display." And
Yeah.
It's like he's poking the thing. I'm like, holy shit.
That's what
Man.
I mean. Like the movie, the CG,
Yeah.
the everything was really well done. But then when they in the movie showed their technological advances,
Oh, on those sweet CRT monitors and
but
shit.
like that's just no. Nobody is using a virtual reality to open up
Yeah,
files and stuff on their computer. That's never happened. It's not going to happen.
Yeah, no, there are, and the funny part is there's only,
done it.
there's only there really are only a few things, very few things throughout this movie that
Yeah.
are dated. But other than that, no, man, this
No,
is really
it did. It
good.
did hold up well.
I would not, like, if I've never seen this before and watched it as a first time watcher, and I don't know who the hell wouldn't know Jurassic Park, but like if you didn't know,
Born every day, man.
I'm just saying, if you didn't know this one and watch it for the first time, I don't think you would think that this is 27 years old. It's nuts.
No, it's
it
pretty
does
cool.
it really aged well.
With that being said,
I got pee.
let's go into final thoughts and ratings. And you know what? Let's go with Mike first.
Oh no, I give it a 9. This is
Whoa!
this is my
wow.
highest rating ever because this is my favorite movie as a kid, and watching it completely lived up to the expectations I had of it. I don't want to give it a 10 because I don't really know if there's any perfect movie that deserves a 10. So this is definitely the highest rating I would give something.
Fair enough. Russell, what do you say?
It's really difficult because if you had asked me my rating from remembering watching it in my younger years, I would have given it a 10 because I love that movie. I think every kid loves that movie.
Yeah.
It's so good. But now as an adult and I'm seeing it like, that doesn't make sense. That's stupid. Why is he doing that? This guy needs to shut up, you know? I think it's going to bring it down to about a 7.
Wow.
It's because like it's such a good movie. It's an iconic movie, and people love that movie.
Yeah.
Everybody loves that movie. Anybody can sit down and watch that movie, even if you don't like it. It's not that you. The worst you can feel about it is that you don't like it, but you can't hate the movie. It's a
Right.
good movie.
To be fair, it is a little bit slow in the beginning. If
Yeah.
you don't sit down wanting to watch it, you probably get bored pretty quick.
Yeah, I
Man,
suppose.
maybe. I don't know. Okay, because this obviously was a blockbuster, and for good reason.
Yeah.
This is a great actors, great score, great visuals. Dude, I'm here we go. You ready? I'm giving this movie a 9.5.
Wow.
Oh,
That's surprising.
the only reason I'm deducting it that half point is for that big flaw from the T-Rex cage. If that did not exist, I probably would have given this a 10. There is nothing I really I had such a fun time watching this, and maybe I'm going 1 point above for nostalgia, but
yeah.
this is such a good movie. I don't know.
I can't disagree.
I loved it. Like, the whole thing is great. And I actually looked up all the flaws this movie had, and it's got a few. And once you know them, it is so fun to watch them throughout the movie.
The thing is, it has a lot of flaws. Even the T-Rex scene is a big flaw. That's like, what's funny is I caught it and I was like, that seems kind of weird.
Is this what I think it is?
No, I was just gonna say none of these flaws, even no matter how bad any of them are, stand out enough to really ruin anything about the movie.
No, in fact, if I didn't know these, I would not have paid any attention to them. And like I say, I almost wish I hadn't known about the T-Rex cage, because I feel like I would have picked up on it and I would have been curious to see it myself, kind of going into it blindly. But yeah, that's the only reason I'm deducting it for this. I mean, this movie is so good. It is a fun watch.
Going into it not knowing about the flaw, all it was to me was it like that? Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
literally,
I can see
was-
that.
It didn't even Like it was like 1 second of confusion, and I was back to watching the movie.
Yeah, no, it is such a good movie. And I honestly, oh my God, I thought about it so hard. I was like, man, I feel like this movie's kind of a 10, but I have to. I feel like I have to. That is such a huge flaw. That brings us to the end of this week's episode. You guys, thanks so much for hanging out with us. And remember, this show is 100% listener supported. You like the show? You want to help us keep it going and improve? Consider at least one of the following. Subscribe, like, comment, tell a friend, head on over to iTunes and give us a rating, or even consider becoming part of our Patreon cast and crew. You guys can find more details and links down in the description and show notes below. And we hope you join us next week. No, you have no idea the focus I had to have. I kept saying that. Oh my God. Seriously, I didn't start the audio.
Does the camera have audio?
The camera does.
Because I want that to exist.
That'll be the end, I think. Okay.